What's up, y'all? My name is Jason from Kinetic Management Systems, and I wanted to share a brief overview of some of the stuff that we're doing to build a brand and a community around this bar that's been open for 23 years. So, what generally speaking, what we were up against was that it's a kind of a two-dimensional, like we are broadcasting what we're doing on some level, but what we want to do is we want to create a more dynamic experience where people feel like a sense of belonging. Now, this is also understood as a loyalty program or a VIP program, but this one is particularly centered around what they're really good at, their USP, their unique value proposition, which is having a 1,200 plus bottle whiskey selection. So we're trying to build a community around that because people are very active in that community, and they really and they stand out as being one of the most one of the best selections in the Bay Area. So this bar's been around for 23 years. The client was like, as you probably know her. She's a legend in the business, and she's just like, I want to touch nothing. I want completely hands off. And so our onboarding and back and forth has been less than an hour. Of just making integrations and stuff. And what I did was I just went into her. She was watching me while I did this, but I asked for access to move her mouse on her computer and click buttons and stuff. And so we got her with the initial tech onboarding in about less than 30 minutes. And it's just because I was controlling the computer that she was logged into. So not incredibly tech savvy, but she can tell you anything. She's forgotten more about whiskey than I have ever learned. So this is their website, and this we didn't build this for them, but it's something that we can offer, and we just kind of put in a couple little things here to help drive capture because despite being open for 23 years and producing events consistently, there's not a huge database. So our job is to collect as much data as possible about the guests, and that is by answering questions. So we put a little chat widget over here just to make sure that we're able to answer their questions, because you could have a universe of information on your website, but people are still going to want to ask a question. And in order to do that, we do ask them to opt into our marketing. And so we set up an AI that has read the entire website. We built a big knowledge base around their products. Like we imported an Excel spreadsheet that has all of their products and pricing. And so what we do is we just put this little chat widget right here, and then this answers questions automatically. So let's just try here. Do you have Buffalo Trace? And so it's going to read that document after we've opted in. So it's going to read that document. We give people the option to log in to opt in, but they don't have to. It's still going to answer the question for them. So yes, we do have Buffalo Trace. Come by and check out our selection. Right. So that's the right answer. And I may give it some more instructions based on this one question, because there's a bit of training that happens afterwards. Again, we take care of this for you because you're busy running a bar and you don't want to be an expert at this stuff. So that's one example of how we're collecting information. But how do people get to the website, right? And this is a little glow up wall. Like we just want to show people that other people love this bar. And we want to make sure that we're relieving them of the burden of having to decide. And so we post up the 4+ star reviews so that everybody can see it. And then here's a call to action to sign up for tastings and events. We'll get into that in just a second. But we built a branded online community around this business, because they are doing something that every bar that's been around for a long time that they should be doing if they don't already, which is events. Lots of events, tasting events, sampling events, and they're easier than you might think. But if you have a management system around them, and then you're able to connect the consumers, the people that attend these events with each other, then that's a very powerful force multiplier. But really, it was strange to me that being around for 23 years, that there was still a visibility problem. So like showing up in search engines and stuff like that. And so the next big initiative for us is going to be driving reviews, which means we're just asking for it. And so it's collecting data, asking for reviews, and then enrolling people into the whiskey club, which I'll get into in a second. So we've identified where we're at right now. And then these are 3 businesses that are close to them, that are similar, that would have the same customer. Because when you're walking down the street and you're saying, I'm looking for a margarita near me, this is what the customer looks for. They're going to look at the number of reviews and then the average rating. And then they'll make a decision. So this one would win, right? Because it's got 488 reviews and they're all pretty good. So we want to keep track of that, and make sure that we're asking for more reviews. And that's going to increase the visibility considerably. The next thing that we want to do is make sure we have accurate listings across the internet. So we use a service called Yext, and what that does is it creates profiles and backlinks from all these listing sites like Bing, Alexa, 8 Coupons, American Express, all that kind of stuff. And we want to make sure that the information is accurate. And so what we do is we can just set it one time, and then it'll change. If your hours change, for instance, then it'll change it across the internet. This is also very good for search engine and discovery. So all this stuff was set up for them because we wanted to make sure that they did not have to log into the back end at all. I'm not sure if my client has ever seen this before, because she runs it all from her app on her phone. And that's all the conversations that she had that we have available. So everything, all the conversations that we have are in a single universal conversations tab. So that's any DMs that are happening on Instagram, and anything any chat conversations, any emails, and all this other stuff. So it's super powerful, and it's completely hands off. All right, so this is a little back end of the conversation AI, and we've set it to autopilot, which means that it's going to automatically answer. If you don't want to give it that much control, then you can just ask it to just suggest things for you, like draft a copy of the response, and then you can also turn it off if you want to. But these are all the channels that it's available on, and we'll go ahead and add Instagram and Facebook on there too right now. Because we wanted to start answering questions. So if anytime you get a DM or a mention, then it's going to automatically reach out, because with the rules with Meta, once they break the seal, we have 24 hours to communicate with them. And typically, if they're tagging your bar or restaurant, that means that they've been there, which means that we're going to be asking them for a review. So that's some additional powerful stuff that you start to see working pretty quickly. If you have a large database already, then we can boost your reviews very, very quickly. So the kind of pièce de résistance here is this online branded community. Now, again, this client is very whiskey centric. So they have like 1,200 bottles or something like that, and they're having tastings and events all the time. So when people are enrolled in their whiskey club, which is on their own branded domain, they get whenever you add an event here. Let's say that the event is the Old Carter whiskey tasting, which is next week, and it's a $150 ticket. And so anytime that you create a new event in here, then it automatically emails anybody that's in the membership community. So notice that we're not discounting here. We're not bundling, saying, hey, do this and you'll get a free side. We're saying that we're just adding value. And so all of this is completely hands off. This can be managed from an app. From our app or from your browser. It's really pretty straightforward. So all you have to do is whenever you have an event, is it just it'll email everybody in the group, and then it'll remind them an hour before as well. And so they register. If it's a free event, then we ask them to RSVP through the system, and then it nurtures them into the event. So again, this is the universal inbox where everything happens. And these are just super fun conversations that we have, because we're just trying to drive as many conversations as we possibly can, because that is what leads to people showing up and doing stuff. And so we've automated like 90% of that. So the owner's job here is to just monitor the conversations and make sure that it's on brand and that everything looks good. But otherwise, the system is handling all this conversation. So if there's one takeaway from this, do events, do lots of events, and they don't have to be like whiskey tastings or cocktail pairings or anything like that. Like you can be like, we're going to buy a tuna, we're going to, the chef is going to break it down, but you have to be a member of the community. And otherwise you wouldn't know about this. And so it creates this kind of exclusivity and generates excitement around something that may seem pretty basic to you, but somebody would be really excited about. So this is Acme. This is where we're headed at right now. Let me just show you one more thing. So here we are into the Instagram Messenger. This is from my Instagram account, and I'm text messaging, or I'm DMing the Acme Bar & Co. And so what I'm going to say is, what is your most expensive spirit? And then it should get right back to us and tell us exactly what the most expensive spirit is. But it should also recommend coming in and joining the club as well. And here we are within a minute. It got back to us with the exact right spirit. So this is our most expensive spirit, is the Japanese Maison du Whiskey, 80th anniversary. It's a rare gem for true connoisseurs. Now, I may set it up so that it gives the pricing as well, but But we'll train on this answer, saying that there's a 1 ounce and a 2 ounce option, and to encourage people to come on in and try it out and see it for themselves. So that's just an example of conversation AI at work. We've also captured that as a contact. So there's a new contact in the system, and then we just have a conversation there. So let's check that. This is another fun thing. What's your email address? I'll add you to the list. All right. And so we'll probably automate that response as well. But what it's going to do right here is it's going to automatically populate the contact with the correct information. So if you notice right here, we'll go ahead and hit refresh here, and then you'll see that that it's effortless contact creation. And once they've given us that information, then we give them plenty of opportunity and ways to get out if they don't want to. And you'll notice here that the contact is updated with my stuff, and then I've responded to the inquiry. And now that the contact is created, then we start sending them stuff whenever we're doing stuff. And this is how you get to the point where you are literally just hitting a few buttons and then filling up your house. So that's all I got for you today. I'm excited to see how this grows. We just started working on this about a week ago, but 90% of it was set up in the first 48 hours. So we really like to have a nice, good onboarding experience. Make sure that that it's simple, effortless, and that you don't have to think about the tech if you don't want to, because you have plenty of other things to do. So that's all I got for you today. Jason from Kinetic Management Systems. Give me a shout if you want something like this. I'm happy to set it up for you. Thank you. See you next time.